In the realm of my dreams, I'm Alex William, aspiring to be a renowned writer. Yet the path is cluttered with those who aim to stifle my ascent, attempting to diminish my worth and control my narrative. Life feels like a relentless jungle, a battleground where survival depends on securing one's place. However, I refuse to succumb. The time has come to defy the detractors. In the cinematic tale of my journey, I choose to wield my pen as a sword, starting with the first chapter at school. Here, I'll showcase my creative prowess, turning skepticism into the fuel that propels me forward. This protagonist is unyielding, ready to script a destiny that transcends doubt. As the curtain rises, I declare my resilience. I am not one to easily surrender.
Marvin was very excited to be going back to school. The lockdown during the COVID-19 pandemic was difficult for the teenager, who was now a high school senior. It was a huge relief to everyone when the government finally gave the go-ahead for in-person learning to resume. Unfortunately, being locked at home had been difficult for everyone. It caused many students to act out as a result. Marvin was quickly singled out by a group of football players. "I'm going to beat you to a pulp, you nerd." Brock, the leader, threatened Marvin as his friend, Dion, shoved the boy against the wall. The bullying was not confined to the hallway. Two of the gang's members, Dion and Johnny, sat behind him in math class. As the teacher explained imaginary numbers to the class, Dion kept pelting Marvin in the head with crumpled papers. When Marvin asked Dion to stop, the football player laughed. "Not a chance. You're mine now." Marvin did not reply. What was the point? It would only fuel Dion's hatred. Never one to be popular, Marvin always sat alone at lunch. He was not good at making friends. The football players took advantage of this and would not leave him alone. They surrounded him, not allowing him to get up, and threatened him some more. "That rice looks a little bland," Brock remarked as he picked up Marvin's orange juice. He poured the entire glass onto Marvin's plate, completely ruining his lunch. "It looks like it needs a bit of sauce." The football jocks laughed at the bullied teenager and even posted the incident on social media. When he was finally ready to head home that day, the bullies were waiting for him outside of class. "Get over here so I can beat you, you dork," Johnny yelled at Marvin. They chased him down the hallway and most of the way home. One of them kept. Once he was finally safe at home, Marvin breathed a sigh of relief. His mom asked him why he looked so down, but he did not want to worry her, so he quietly went up to his room. Marvin closed the door and laid down on his bed. It felt so comfortable. The teenager took out his phone and was horrified to see that the bullies had posted several videos of him getting bullied that day. Worst of all, the comments were extremely toxic. People called him a chicken and a coward. Some, even though he was a complete idiot for not standing up for himself. It was too much for him to handle. Marvin broke down and screamed at the top of his lungs. The next day was no different. Dion caught Marvin in the bathroom and tried to punch him. Marvin raised his books in defense as Dion threw the punch. Its strength surprised him. As the punch hit his books, they hit him in the face and knocked him to the ground. Teenager lost control and smashed all his electronics on his bedroom floor. It was good that his parents were not home. He did not want to have to explain to them what happened. Marvin felt so helpless. He almost wished that the government would lock the country down again, just so that he did not have to go to school and face the bullies. To him, isolation from the world was a better option. He laid down on his desk, buried his face, his arms, and wept. Marvin considered telling his parents about the problem at school, but decided against it. He did not want to worry them. They were already working so hard to give him a good life. He did not want to add to their stress. He even worried that his father might think he was weak. Tears began to flow down his cheeks. He could not stop them. "I am weak," he thought to himself. Instead, Marvin resolved to ignore the bullying as much as he could, because it was his final year at that school. The bullies might make his life miserable, but Marvin was not about to let them derail his education. There was no better way to get at the bullies than to be successful in life. Focusing on his education and not the bullying ensured that Marvin finished school with the highest honors. In fact, he was class valedictorian. On graduation day, the family posed for a picture after the ceremony. His parents were so proud of him. Marvin was finally free of the bullies. He hoped he would never have to see them again. A few years later, once he had received his bachelor's degree in business from university, Marvin joined a successful company. Management recognized the young man's talent, and he was quickly promoted to the board of directors. The bad memories from his younger years had long ago faded. What had, at the time, felt like the end of the world was now largely forgotten. One day, while Marvin was taking a break at work, he began to watch some videos online. The website's algorithm showed him a video from those terrible high school years. It was the one where Brock had him by the collar. Marvin, who back then would have been devastated to see the video, laughed when he saw the video already had 12 million views. He was a viral star. How fitting. When he left for home that day to see his beautiful wife, Marvin ran into some unexpected guests down in the company's front lobby. The bullies. It turned out that Brock, Johnny, and Dion worked at the exact same company. Though, unlike Marvin, who was the company's director of sales, his former bullies were part of the evening cleaning crew, 2 moppers and a window cleaner. When Dion saw Marvin, the successful businessman gave the cleaner a sharp look that said, "What are you looking at?" Dion quickly lowered his eyes, fearful that he might get fired for eyeing his boss. Marvin decided to take a detour on his way home. "Honey," he told his wife on the phone, "why don't you meet me at my old high school? I think I'd like to spend some time with you there." "Don't you hate that school?" she asked him over the phone. Marvin had never liked speaking of his high school years, so this sudden change surprised her. "I thought I did, but maybe not anymore." The couple sat on a bench by the school for hours as Marvin told his wife about struggles he had faced all those years ago. "I focused on life. I realized the bullying was only a temporary situation, as hard as it was, and that positivity in the face of adversity was the only solution." "What advice would you give to any student going through a similar situation?" she inquired. "I would tell them that if the bullying is really bad, tell a teacher. But most of all, I would say, ignore the bullying. Ignore it and focus on your life. It will pay off sooner than you think." The end.
February 1st, 5 p.m. Excitement is soaring as my comic book, Back to School, Good Student, gains widespread acclaim. A call from a prestigious coffee shop owner changes everything. They've invited me to join a star-studded World Cancer Day event on February 4th. Without a moment's hesitation, I've committed to creating a special comic, Hope, for the occasion. The clock is ticking, and I must finish it ASAP to share a beacon of hope with the world amidst celebrities and artists.
Good morning, Sunshine. You're awake.
Morning.
How are you feeling?
I feel exhausted. I'm dying, big brother.
No, don't lose hope, Amy. You look great to me. Life is too short for us to focus on death. If we did that, life would get even shorter. Let's focus on life instead. What do you say? Don't lose hope, little sister. You will soon be okay.
It turned out that Luke had been correct. 1 year later, Amy was cancer-free and graduating from college.
What's the plan from here on out?
I'm going to open a restaurant. Just you wait.
True to her word, Amy's restaurant, a 5-star affair, opened several months later. It was an instant success with the locals, and its reputation quickly spread.
I must admit, I was skeptical about your restaurant plan, but you have proven me wrong. I admire what you've done, Amy. Really, excellent work.
Thanks, Luke.
Once her restaurant was well established, Amy got the idea to write a book about her life. She was still very young, but had already gone through so many trials and tribulations. She guessed, correctly, that others would find her story interesting. Few months later, the book sold out its first edition in one weekend and became an international success. The reviews praised her courage in the face of overwhelming adversity.
Good morning, everyone. Today, we have an amazing guest for you. The woman you are about to meet has graduated from college, opened up a 5-star restaurant, and written an internationally best-selling book, all while fighting cancer and vanquishing it. Please give a big round of applause to Amy, our guest for today.
Thank you, Mr. Jemmy. I appreciate you inviting me for this interview.
Of course, Ms. Amy, you are such an amazing woman. We simply had to have you on the show. Please, tell the audience how you were able to start such a successful restaurant, even with the seemingly insurmountable obstacles you faced.
To be honest, I had lost all hope for a long life, like other people have. I was certain that mine would end sooner than most, until that one fateful day in the hospital, when my brother Luke said something very important to me.
Oh, what was that?
He said, "Amy, if you think life is short, it will be short. Instead of thinking about death, enjoy life." So, I listened to him, and I stopped thinking about death. It was not easy. There were many bullies at school who would not let me forget my health issues. They even called me Professor X.
Professor X?
Precisely.
Oh, of course, the bald head. How rude.
It was, but I also had a lot of supporters among my friends. Even people I hardly knew gave me words of encouragement. It was all very helpful, and I'm not sure I could have done it all alone. The support I got really helped keep me grounded. Luke even gave me some motivational books, which I read, and showed me some inspirational quotes from famous people throughout history.
Wow, you are an incredible woman.
Thank you. The trick is to avoid the negativity and focus on what's the positive. That's really it.
Amy continued to live her life to the fullest, even meeting a man who loved her deeply. They got married exactly 1 year after her interview on Mr. Jemmy's show. The day of her wedding was the happiest day of her life. 5 months later, at Amy's funeral, her family was sad for having had lost her to a second round of cancer, one she could no longer fight off. But he knew deep down inside that Amy had lived her life, no matter how short, to the fullest. That was something which made him and his surviving family very proud.
I'm going to miss you, my little sister.
The end. Following World Cancer Day, amidst an assembly of remarkable souls, fate introduced me to a renowned movie producer. Entranced by my work, he urged, "Share it at the film festival." Thrilled, I agreed, leaving my contact for details. Inspired, I resolved to create a short film for students worldwide, titled Claim Your Destiny.
You guys are lucky you finished your classwork early today,
Why is that?
because now we get to have a fun discussion. I'm going to ask you all a question, but I want you to give me an answer with a good reason behind it. Got it? The question is, who is your hero? And before I forget, make sure to raise your hand before you answer.
Batman.
Did you forget something? Samuel, who is your hero?
It's Batman, sir!
Batman? Really? Why?
Because he fights for justice no matter what he's up against.
Very good, Samuel. Who's next? Michelle? How about you?
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, you say? Not Spider-Woman?
I like Spider-Woman too, but Spider-Man is much funnier.
That's why he's your hero?
Yes, but also because he talks non-stop while he's fighting. That comic is hilarious.
It sure is. Next.
Pick me.
Pick me!
Okay, Mike, tell us, who is your hero?
My father, sir.
Why don't you tell us why?
My dad works all day to give our family a better life. He brings joy to us all, protects us, and even risks his life for us. He works in the army.
That's amazing, Mike. Okay, who wants to go next? Peter.
My mom, because she cooks healthy food for us, takes care of me when I am sick, and even helps me with my homework. Plus, she walks with me to school every morning.
That is some mum you have there, Peter. You are a lucky boy. Okay, question number 2. What is your dream job?
Engineer.
Doctor,
Footballer!
Well, whatever that is, you have to believe it first. And then you have to do what is necessary to take that job for yourself. Be certain of what you want, be strong, and go out and get it. But wait, David. I heard you said engineer.
I wish I can be an engineer.
You wish?
I do.
How about candy? Do you like candy?
Sure. Who doesn't?
Here, come and take it.
Thank you.
So, do you get it now?
Yes, I already have the candy. Thank you, it's delicious.
No, not. Did you get the candy? I mean, do you understand the lesson now?
Candy is yummy?
Yes, it is. Maybe if you take the other one, you'll understand.
Thank you.
Now do you get it?
I'm sorry, but I still don't know what you mean.
When I asked you if you wanted candy, you were sure that you did. So when I offered you a piece of candy, you went ahead and took it for yourself.
I did, and I am glad I did. I love watermelon flavor.
Well, good. You wanted something, the candy, and you made sure to take it when offered an opportunity. I want you to apply that now to your dream job. Do you wish to become an engineer? Or will you become an engineer?
I will become an engineer.
I am not sure I believe you, David. Want to try that again?
I will become an engineer.
Now we're getting somewhere. Now, I believe you. If you want to be an engineer, you have to believe it first. And then you have to do what is necessary to take that job for yourself. Remember, be certain of what you want, be strong, and go out and get it. Oh, and don't forget to do your homework too. It'll help you follow your dreams.
Having just completed a trilogy of books, I'm excited to turn them into an animated trilogy of short films. 3 captivating stories will intertwine seamlessly, creating a unique cinematic experience. My goal is to share this amalgamation at a film festival, inviting audiences into a mesmerizing world born from my literary endeavors. To the naysayers, To those attempting to derail me, and to the negativity that lingers in my wake, brace yourselves. Here I come. To all those who have witnessed my film, remember this. Never surrender. Relentlessly strive to showcase your utmost capabilities and dismiss the echoes of discouragement. Shrug off the naysayers and concentrate on your craft, unveiling your undeniable potential to the world. My name is Alex William, and this is my story. People calls me the Dreamer.